career you can be proud of. Visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seeding Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 6th in Lincoln. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. It's Lloyds in Lincoln. With former Syracuse Orange and Long Beach State basketball star Ramel Lloyd Sr. and current Nebraska basketball athlete Ramel Lloyd Jr. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Ramel Sr. and Ramel Jr. Brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
All right, welcome back in to Ticket Weekends. This is Lloyds in Lincoln. I'm Harrison running the board as always. We got the host, Ramel Lloyd Sr. and Jr. across the table from me. It's a pretty wild weekend of college football. I'm sure we'll get into it, but guys, how's it going?
Good. A slow day today, man. I got up today feeling a little slow moving. I don't know. Is it not as hot today? The sun wasn't beaming as much, and just kind of a lazy morning today. What do you think, Junior?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just a nice little Sunday morning, a little radio action.
Are you guys NFL fans?
Mel?
Yeah, I like college more than NFL though.
Okay,
yeah, I do like college more. I think it's a little more exciting. But NFL does start today.
Mm-hmm.
I got my little TV notification today that my package is on today, so I guess I'll have like 30 games on during the day today. But I'll definitely check it out. I like to get into it early. I like to try to know what I'm talking about. People always have sports conversations about football, and I hate to not know what's going on. So I watch it just enough to try to get that without having to call him and ask him who people are. That annoys me sometimes when he knows and I don't. Excuse me.
Yeah, and obviously I'm repping the Bears gear today. We got Bears Packers 12 o'clock. That's a big one. We had Fields in the studio, not Jeff Essing, not Justin Fields, repping the Fields jersey. But
he had his Bears jersey, right?
Yeah, super excited. I'm big on the NFL, but I guess with the slate of college games yesterday, there's quite a few, in particular some Big Ten teams. But was there any game you really want to dive in on here first? You just want to start right with Nebraska, Colorado?
No, I mean last week our show we talked a lot about football, and that's normally not my topic. So at least for me, and we talked about all the excitement around college football, and then the excitement around Colorado, and what Deion Sanders is doing and what we needed to do. So it's only right that we have to at least go back and review that. But outside of the Nebraska game, there was tons of games on yesterday. That were pretty exciting. And I have so many games on, I'm just flipping back and forth. So to be honest with you, I don't even know some of the results was for some of the games because I wound up going to sleep.
All right, so I probably know. So what are the games?
So
USC. Who won the USC?
USC won by like 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like 56 to like 13.
UCLA.
UCLA won too.
Now I was excited about being that we are California people. I was excited about the stadium, the San Diego State new stadium that they built. It was pretty nice. Did you see that?
And they got smacked.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, they play UCLA. What do you know? It's not like they.
No, I'm just trolling.
Yeah, but that stadium was really nice. I look forward to going home and maybe trying to catch a game there some point in my life.
Was that the first time they played in it, that last game? Or
I'm not sure. It wasn't their first game. I don't know if they played on the road before that or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was their season opener there. I know that's the first year with the stadium. But
it could have been the season opener at the stadium.
Yeah.
I think they were on the road.
Last week. If I were scheduling that, I would not schedule UCLA as the first game in that state.
No, I mean, you got to look at this. Sports is always a business first, right?
True.
So if you open in a brand new arena down there, stadium down there in San Diego, the biggest people to come support it. If you play UCLA, you're gonna pack it out the first game, right?
Yeah,
so you want to make sure that you have.
That's true.
Plus, a lot of those scheduling things come and kind of bite you later. You look at a team like Illinois when they scheduled Kansas.
Yeah,
that was looking pretty damn good.
Right.
And then Leipold gets there, and then all of a sudden Illinois takes a loss to Kansas, which a few years ago. That was a program that was in the dumps. Same thing, Colorado. A few years ago,
exactly.
That looks all right on the schedule.
Well, I mean, Kansas did have a good season last year, though. So,
but they scheduled it before.
Yeah, those schedules are out sometimes a couple of years ahead.
Was it like a home and away type deal? Like, did they play them last year too?
Yeah, I'd have to look it back.
Because I've seen like LSU and Florida State. This is the second year in a row. Like, so last year was at Florida State. This past year at LSU.
That's usually how contracts go. They usually do a series of a couple of years in advance of home and homes. So they probably, people schedule those games, and then all of a sudden the teams.
Well, you just look at the ACC and the Pac-12. Those are two of the conferences. That's funny. With all the conference realignment, everyone's like, "What are these guys going to do?" They're beating their chest right now. I think right now the ACC is 5-1 against SEC teams, which is just crazy stat right there, right off the gates.
Yeah, and Washington State beat Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, they won that game.
Yeah, it was 31-22.
They beat them. It wasn't. I wouldn't say easy, but they were in control of the whole game basically.
Yeah, Wisconsin really. I mean, they didn't really start showing life until about that third quarter because they had 9 points heading into half, and then Washington State was up 24-9. And third quarter, it wasn't much going on. Fourth quarter, it's like you said, the game was kind of over. Wisconsin just couldn't get the offense going. Yeah. They had a little bit of a spark there in the third, but they couldn't get it going in the fourth, and they just held onto the ball 8 o'clock up. So another Big Ten loss.
Another Big Ten loss. I think the old man in me, I think I was asleep by that time when that game. I saw them getting ready to come on, and then, like I said, I'm getting up there. I can't stay up late no more.
Yeah, I feel like we were doing the post-game show, and I will say, after some Nebraska games, it does kind of take the excitement out of trying to watch some of those other games because, it's obviously you could be affected a little bit by the wins and losses, but it is still interesting. LSU, they look pretty scary. I know they played Grambling State, but still 72-10. That just looks like a program that's going to keep climbing that AP poll.
Did they win last week, LSU? Didn't they lose last week?
They lost to Florida State.
They lost to Florida State.
Florida State's like number 4 in the country right now.
Okay.
Florida State.
But they did get handled pretty easily, though. For them to be they were like top 5. They were like ranked 5 in the first week or something.
Oh, yeah. They shouldn't have. What was the score? They get blown out?
Yeah, it was 24-45. It was a blowout.
Oh,
yeah. They got handled. And they was in Baton Rouge, too. So.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's and then another notable one: Texas beats Alabama.
I was watching that.
I saw
game
that
early.
coming.
34-24.
Yeah, I seen that coming.
Texas. We always talk about Texas. Texas is such a powerful school. Like they seem like they athletics seem like they should never lose.
But
with
the talent,
all of the talent they have available to them, the resources, they have their own network and finances.
They seem like they're back now. I mean,
I just seem like a program that always underachieves.
They should have won the
basketball and football.
Right? They should have won the Alabama game last year, but I mean, Alabama had Bryce Young, who was the difference maker at the end, but they beat them in that game. Bryce Young is just the reason why Alabama wound up pulling it out.
Yeah, they got some players. I mean, they still got Arch Manning at backup, and they got Quinn Ewers, really good quarterback. I think I think when you kind of look around the Big Ten, that's kind of the real problem is you're looking at the quarterbacks, and right now there's just not a lot of strong quarterbacks, I want to say.
Right.
You definitely got some strong like offensive lines, kind of the usual, but I'll be honest. I mean, if you're Nebraska, it's pretty still wide open for you.
Well, like we said, right? We talked about the change, the style of play changing. Like Big Ten, is kind of in that old school style of play that we talked a little bit about with Nebraska, what that success was in the 90s, right? Winning those championships. And I think just the style of play is changing a little bit. So, and once again, I'm not no football expert or nothing. This is just a super cat. What do we call it? What do we call
couch
it?
Coach.
Couch coach. Super casual couch coach opinion. So,
yep. I mean, if there's basketball on, we'd be talking about basketball. I mean, we can't talk about the U.S. losing.
Yeah, they got
twice.
third overall. They did win. They lost their third
They
place
lost
game
it.
as
They
well.
lost that game.
They lost to Canada.
I heard that
Dylan
wrong.
Brooks
then.
had 40.
Dylan Brooks had 40.
Dylan Brooks had
So we walked
40.
away with third. You lose to Germany.
They didn't.
No,
they lost the
Canada got
place
third.
game.
Canada got.
Fifth,
I mean, yeah, we didn't get
probably.
third. We lost to Germany, and then we played for third against Canada.
Yeah, so we didn't place.
At all.
No medal.
That's cool. That's pretty
I
interesting.
misheard that. I thought we got third. That's surprising.
We got to send LeBron next year.
That's pretty interesting.
We got to send LeBron.
I don't think LeBron's body is going to make that in the season.
No, we got to send LeBron, KD, Tatum.
Yeah, well, obviously, we see that. No slight to the young men that's on the U.S. team, but obviously we see that the world, talent is catching up. We have this conversation all the time, so it looks like we need to send the best of the best that we have here, and we can't just send any team out there.
Yeah, especially when like all the other countries are talking crazy now too.
Yeah,
about the whole world stuff, this and that. But I mean, let's be real. If Kevin Durant and LeBron and then we're out there, it's not even close.
No.
Yeah, we would. But it's not their fault. It's not the world team's fault who we send. Like
that's true.
There's USA on the chest,
That is
and
true.
That's it. They don't care.
That's true.
Who it is, we
but
have
the whole
to
thing,
represent.
the whole thing when the track star with Noah Lyles, I believe it's
Noah Lyles, yeah.
Yeah. When he kind of started up the pod a little bit, so now everyone's tweeting that we are the world champions, this, that, and that. But at the same time, it's like,
yeah, the challenge is getting those guys to want to do it. You
It's
said
tough.
it like LeBron would definitely
it's
help,
tough.
KD would help, but like, yeah, with those guys, the problem is like I just don't know how much they want to do it. If you're a young guy,
A young
it's
one.
good to
this
prove
is,
your
this is
name.
the thing though. Next year is going to be the
Olympics.
Olympics.
Mhm.
So they always, we normally get at least a couple top 10 NBA guys in the Olympics.
Yeah,
But for the World Cup stuff, for the FIBA stuff, not really.
yeah, that's kind of where the rest of the world's definitely catching up, but we still have the edge. I think if we put our best team out there,
The best talent in the world is here. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody says. Best talent in the world is right here. Maybe we don't always play the best brand of basketball when it comes to those teams assembling in a short period of time, right? Maybe we're not to the point where before we can just put a team together right away and still dominate. We also have to remember that those European teams, they've been playing together also since they've been young. Like those teams are solid, pretty much.
Well,
they
even
practice and play together. And
over
all
in
that stuff.
Spain, Sam Hoiberg was telling me like he was kind of saying like there was just so many like they're older like pro guys, but you would play the same team, and the next day you'd play the same team, but it'd be a different roster.
Yeah, they kept like a couple of teams. Like we played a guy like in the first game in Madrid, and then we go to Valencia and he's on that Valencia team now. So they were just all borrowing people. It was kind of all over the place, and then so they were all kind of just exchanging guys and just adding guys. So yeah, it was a little different.
Yeah, those teams, they compete together every
Mhm.
year. Like how we're talking like, oh, we should have had this guy, that guy, that guy. Like their teams are set, and they're like, what's the Olympic every 4 years? They have a team that has probably played together in 3 Olympics before they recycled a new group of people. So these guys play together. They know each other. They don't have not to say that we have an ego, but if you watch them play, they play a different brand of basketball. They don't really care about. They just care about the winning. They like even our pros. Sometimes when you look at them, sometimes they kind of just blend in with the countrymen.
Yeah,
and you would think that they would feel like, okay, well, I'm in the league. I want to be a little more assertive. It's my team. Like if you didn't know they were in the NBA, sometimes you wouldn't know.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, who can I say? I mean, I would say Carl Towns, like even Carl Towns.
Yeah,
I watched
yeah.
some games where, I mean, he's getting subbed out, taking him
Yeah.
out. I mean, he had some big games, but at the same time, it was like, if I'm Dominican Republic, and I don't have a bunch of like NBA guys, I'm giving him the ball every possession. That's not even close to what it is. Even with like Giannis, Greece uses Giannis as like almost a extremely glorified role player in a sense.
And that's the difference between our styles of play. Because our leagues, the NBA and professional leagues here are built on individualism, right? Like the superstars get all of the commercials, they get all of the endorsements and the money, right? I'm not saying that that's not necessarily the case in Europe, but they play different. Even if you are a superstar, you play along that team concept.
Yeah, regardless.
Right? Regardless of who you are, you play along that team concept. So when our guys, not to say that they're playing selfish, but we're just conditioned to play a certain way because that's how they grew up playing their whole life. Like, for instance, a talent like Edwards, right? Like he can take over a game at any time. And he does that a lot. He did that a lot. I watched him play a lot this summer, and he was like, okay, he's taking tough step back threes and fadeaway threes. And, the European guys, they don't play that way. Even the superstars, they still find a way to get theirs off a little bit more in the system. And that makes it tough to beat someone like that, right? Because these are guys that some of the guys that we're watching and they're playing really well and they're killing, we don't have a clue who they are. And if you break their game down individually, they probably couldn't even play in the league. But they got 20 points on us in the USA game because they just playing in the flow, and their superstars will find them in the corner, and they won't miss the open shots, things of that nature.
The game is played out there for teams like you said, to be a team. The guys come together and they all make each other better. And America, you just put all the best individual players you have and put them on a team, and that's how it works.
Yeah, one of the best examples of, like, if you look at Manu Ginobili's career, he's a guy that, if you're really being honest, like, he should have been looked at as like a superstar for what he did for. I mean, there was a stretch there where he took that Spurs team. He was dropping 35 points when he needed it for the win. He had a series. I think it might have been when Kawhi Leonard was a rookie or before he was even on the team. It was one of those years, but he just completely took over on a lot of those games. But he dropped 35. Next game, you'd see him with 8 and like 12 assists.
Yeah.
And then whenever the team needed,
I don't even think he started most of the time.
He never started,
no. Right? Yeah,
but he just started. Manu Ginobili. At that point in time, I think he because there was a long period of his career where he didn't even start. This was towards the latter. I think he was definitely starting. I want to say at this point because he was just put in.
Sure, because you said a year before Kawhi or during Kawhi. I'm pretty sure Danny Green had that spot.
We'll look it up. We'll get the right facts before the break.
He'll get it
because it was a historical season. That one Manu Ginobili, that's the guy that like should have been a superstar. But again, it's kind of that European style that
he's still a Hall of Famer. But I understand what your point is. Like if
didn't get marketed like a Dwayne Wade or like one of those superstars.
Exactly.
So you're saying you think if he wasn't like on the Spurs and just was on a team where they would just let him go and start and all that, he would be like on that superstar level?
I think if it's just his style of play, like maybe if he's on the Lakers, it could be if he's on the Lakers, maybe he is a superstar. But I just think his style of play was so conducive to the team's needs.
I think you're referring to more of his mentality, right? Like obviously he had the talent to be a superstar, and he was a superstar when he needed to be.
It was the way he played the game.
You know what I'm saying?
But he allowed himself to be.
It didn't matter if he didn't.
Like
if they didn't need him to be a superstar, it didn't matter to him. Okay, we got the win. I don't care.
As long as it was
right? It's like, I need to get you 30 tonight. Okay, I'll do that. But if I need to get you, like you said, 12 assists and 2 points, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah.
And that's not how we're raised.
And if there's a bat flying around, I'll go.
And I'll get the bat and then miss the next game because I need to get it.
Okay, perfect. 4951. He always came off the bench, but he did have random start throughout his career. So appreciate that. Starter Hammond text line 402-464-5685. Again, you can always fill us in there. We got another one here. And from Manu Ginobili, it's an image. Give me a second while this loads up. It's probably from Stat News, but nonetheless, Manu Ginobili played 349 as a starter in his career. So he got 349 games as a starter.
Okay, that's about
average 30 minutes a game, 16 points. And then
how many start games did he have?
349.
How many did he
That's
play?
about 4 seasons, huh? 80. Yeah.
And it's probably like
it's spread out throughout his career, probably.
Yeah, random.
It's about 4 seasons altogether. So
yeah. But again, that's just another guy. When you're just kind of looking at that comparison, and it is crazy you brought up Giannis because that is a guy that it was so weird how they used him.
Yeah.
And they didn't. I'm not saying they used him wrong,
right?
But it was surprising. Like, wow, that's how much different of a style.
And then and doesn't seem like they have a problem with that,
no.
right? That's the difference in the mentality.
Giannis,
they don't care. They don't really care. It's interesting, and it's not to say that our way is wrong either. It's just different. And what happens is when we don't have our top talent now, that we can't get away with doing that anymore without having our top tier guys. I truly believe,
especially with how many European players are just fighting for that MVP now.
But we say that too. But at the same time, even the guys that we sent still could have won.
Should have won.
Yeah,
should have won. That's what I'm saying. There's no slight. There's no slight to those guys, but now it's a game rather than just we know we're gonna win.
Jalen Brunson was he All-Star this year?
Jalen Brunson, he made All-Star.
Anthony Edwards was All-Star this year.
Brandon Ingram, I don't think.
No, Jaren Jackson was. And then who was our center? Was it Jared Jackson was our center?
Yeah.
I didn't like how the team was built though. I didn't like the roster regardless, like team wise. Obviously they're all great players, but I didn't like how they structured the roster.
But still though, so we're talking about guys that are budding in their career and starting to make all-star teams and things of that nature against all-time Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? It's still no comparison.
Right. Our guys were a lot younger than those other guys too, still than the other teams.
Yeah, for sure. Really for sure. But and I'm saying they're just starting their career as a superstar. These guys were young, good players in the league. When we talk about the guys that we do have in the league, these are all-time great Hall of Famers. That's still not even a comparison, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I think our best player in the tournament might have been Halliburton most consistently. Besides Edwards.
He didn't start.
And he didn't even start.
Yeah, he didn't start. And these are all great young players, but it's definitely something to look at for what we talk about that thing. I like how we kind of shift from the college football, and we went right in the back. See, we could talk all day about the basketball.
Well, the World Cup was interesting. I'm glad you brought that up because, again, there's, that roster was it was constructed a little interestingly. And again, I think that's just availability. Like maybe it's just the best guys you can get.
And guys that want to play.
But yeah, Austin Reeves, Brandon Ingram was like a little disappointing, but again, that might have been the system. Like him and a Steve Kerr offense just doesn't really sound like it fit him very well, to be honest.
Yeah, he even said himself that it just wasn't the way they were playing, like the game out there especially it wasn't for him.
No. He's kind of got like the same size you up that obviously not as good as KD, but very mid-range. Like he's gonna kind of size it up before the ball gets
a great one-on-one player. Things of that nature. Isolation basketball, get up and down. Yeah, it's different. And then also, like you just said, you mentioned Steve Kerr, who's obviously an outstanding coach. The coaching can make a whole difference too on how the style of play, what coaches want from you, what they expect from you, and how you want to play. So those things are so important, man. Just in basketball, football, all sports, like same talent could be on 2 different teams in 2 different scenarios and look like 2 different complete players.
Yeah, you see it in the NBA a lot. I mean, with the head coach's movement, like nonstop, like. Doc Rivers is always kind of an anomaly because he gets fired all the time, but he always shows up in new locations.
He fires himself all the time.
And as a GM, right?
He's always the GM. And how do you be the GM and get fired?
He might be smart because he might fire himself and he still have to get paid for his contract and then go get another coaching job.
No, he's smart. He's never not gonna have. He's always gonna have a job.
Yeah, Doc's one of the great coaches as well. It's just weird that he just doesn't win as much as he probably should have. How many championships you have? 2?
One.
Only have
just
one?
The one, yeah. And he's got a real rough Game 7 record.
Yeah, that's what's so weird.
But I mean, was he really supposed to win with win with the Clippers and like even the 76ers?
Boston, I think though. I think Boston he missed a couple opportunities. Maybe they should have.
It was Kobe though.
3 of them.
He played against Kobe.
Yeah, I get it. Who was on Kobe's team? Paul Gasol was.
Kobe was on Kobe's team.
Yeah, I think at that era, you weren't.
I think it was Gasol, but the team wasn't like it was Gasol
Kobe,
and
Gasol,
Andrew Bynum,
Ron Artest, and Derek Fisher.
And they were playing against Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Rondo, and Ray Allen.
Right, but I think what was it like?
Yeah, they should have won that one.
They should have won that. I'm sorry.
I like Derek Fisher, but he wasn't that.
I'm sorry. They should have won.
That's what I'm saying. But that just goes to Kobe's greatness. But I mean, Pau Gasol is a Hall of Famer too.
Of course. Yeah, that's 2 people. And then the bench.
Bynum was really
I don't know
good
what
at
the bench
that,
looked like. Bynum was good. Bynum was like 17 or something at that time. though. He was
young.
He was really, really young.
Remember when Bynum got traded to like the Sixers and he became like Shaq for like a year?
he played with the Sixers?
Yeah,
Really?
he got traded and it was like 25 and 10 every night. Like
Really?
Yes. He went,
Well, I think he averaged a
missed
double. Was it just 1 or 2? How long was that run?
maybe 2, but then his knee gave out.
He didn't want to play basketball though, from what I heard. The inside was that he didn't love the game.
Yeah, I know. Him and Kobe always had a good relationship with each other. And
This is Bynum, right? We're talking about Bynum.
No, I might think about Odom. You might be right.
Oh, you talking about Odom?
I could be wrong on that. I can't remember if it was Bynum or Odom who had that real close relationship.
Oh,
I don't want to
definitely
Odom.
Yeah,
Lamar Odom?
Yeah, Lamar Odom.
Oh yeah. No, I was
Lamar was on that team too.
Yeah, for a little stint there.
Yeah, he was on that team. I
Bynum
don't
and
think he
Odom.
started. He got a championship with that. I think he was on that championship team that beat Boston.
No, I'm tripping. It wasn't with the Sixers. It was when I think the year that Kobe might have been hurt all year.
Yeah, I don't think he's played for anybody else but the Lakers.
No,
And
he
then
played for the
playing.
Raptors,
Raptors.
Cleveland, and Indiana. But
Really?
I swear, who
Where
went to
was
the,
I at?
somebody went to the Sixers and did something like that. But no, he averaged 19 and 12 in 2011, and then he just was
He
done.
didn't want to play. Well, I think he got hurt too, though.
He
but
did get hurt. His knee gave
yeah,
out.
they said he wasn't motivated to play. This is just talk, man. I don't know if it's.
You guys remember Roy Hibbert for the Pacers?
Yeah, of course. Oh.
That's another big that man just looked like a world beater at the time. The one guy that could scare LeBron James. There is footage of like LeBron James practicing how to work around Hibbert. He was trying to figure because he was at that point in time. Hibbert was going to be this absolute monster, and then the game just kind of shifted away.
Yeah,
you remember our Roy Hibbert's conversation? I don't think you remember because you.
Well, he used to tell me I was a little young at that time. It was like 2013, 2014, so I might have been like 13, 12, whatever. But you used to tell me that Roy Hibbert was. You used to say he wasn't good. Actually, you didn't like Roy Hibbert.
No, I did not. I did.
You said obviously he said he's good.
You felt like he wasn't a pro.
What?
Didn't you feel like he wasn't a pro?
What do you mean he wasn't a pro?
When he was in what school he went to?
No, I wasn't even old enough to watch Roy Hibbert.
Who was we at that?
I couldn't tell you what school. I was all NBA.
Georgetown. I don't know who you're talking about, but I wasn't old enough to even like watch.
So what was the beef? We had a little. I remember we had some discussions over him.
Well, you're a LeBron fan
because I'm a LeBron guy, and I don't know. I don't know
because there's a big LeBron going up against the Pacers and Roy Hibbert. I'm assuming it had to been that playoff series. I probably got it going.
We got to think about that. I think I was saying that he was going to be out the league real soon.
Yeah, something like that.
And nobody was like,
that's what I was
like,
saying.
what are you crazy?
You didn't think he was as good as everybody was saying.
Trust me, he is going to be out of the league soon.
I mean, but that's not just him. I mean, you got Drummond on the vet minimum.
Yeah, he messed himself up though. He admitted to that attitude. Yeah, remember he said that on his social media. It was about his attitude and how he
Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, he had a off the court issues as well. Yeah. So a lot of that stuff that obviously we hear about some of the stuff because we're somewhat connected to a lot of people that's in the NBA and in that world. So we had a little bit of inside stuff, but I know a lot of it has to always do with off the court issues as well. Like a lot of times as a fan, we're like, how could this guy not be in the NBA? But it's such a privilege to even have opportunity to play there that your off court actions and demeanor and how you are as a teammate and how you are a personality, it matters.
Yeah,
it really, really matters. There. You can't be making that much money and have that much responsibility at that level, and you're not do the right things off the court. So
no, definitely.
Especially when you got new guys coming to the league every year.
There's forget just our country, like we just talked about. There's talent worldwide. So nobody's worrying about what you're doing. If you're not doing the right thing, everybody's replaceable. That's for sure.
Especially you get all these guys that are just undrafted. You get your Reeves shows up. Lou Dort, for he might have been the last pick. I can't remember if
undrafted.
Lou Dort undrafted. He had that bubble run for the Thunder where he played amazing. It's just like you can't sleep.
I'm glad we went to the NBA because speaking of underpaid bigs, the Lakers just got Christian Wood.
Let's talk about that on the next one. We're actually going over right here. Let's talk about Christian Wood.
Really a big though?
Next on Lloyds In Lincoln.
September is National Literacy Month, a time to encourage the young people in your life to go to the library, pick up a good book, and explore new worlds. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. By getting books in the hands of kids, we can engage these young readers in their learning and help them see how school, community, and the world beyond are connected.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
September is National Literacy Month, a time to encourage the young people in your life to go to the library, pick up a good book, and explore new worlds. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. By getting books in the hands of kids, we can engage these young readers in their learning and help them see how school, community, and the world beyond are connected.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as 1 pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Beep, beep, beep.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The captain.
I'm going to be outside fighting Colorado pain.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, I got them boys bold, man. He got the hood behind.
I'm going to eat, talk football, and talk trash. And if I have to, I'm going to kick a little ass. So it doesn't matter.
Listen, calm down, big fella. You're 48.
Might have to get me out. Might be there on Monday. So reporting live from Boulder. Terrell's walking out, y'all. You know, BJ always on live. Look at him walking out.
Hey, listen, though, that is not happening. So. You're going to walk away. You hear me? You walk away.
You're listening to Lloyds in Lincoln with your hosts, Ramel Lloyd Sr. and Ramel Lloyd Jr.
All right, welcome back to Ticket Weekends. This is Lloyds in Lincoln with the host Ramel Lloyd Sr. and Ramel Lloyd Jr., both in studio across the table. Again, if you guys want to join the show, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo, channel 951. Great way to put a face to the voice, but we left off the segment asking, is Christian Wood for the Lakers? What is the expectations for him? Ramel asked if he's even a big, real big.
No, I really do like Christian Wood. When I was coaching AAU in California, I don't know how many years ago this was, but I actually was recruiting him very hard to play on my team. He was out in where's out in desert area? So Palmdale. He's from Palmdale. He's from Palmdale.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was from
Wood.
Cali.
Yeah, he's from Palmdale. And I hope I'm right, but yeah, he's from Palmdale, I believe. And he was just a big kid at the time. He was pretty talented, but he was really, really underrated because he wasn't playing in LA as much. Like he stayed in Palmdale. A lot of people didn't know about him. It was him. He had about three kids on his team that was like 6'9" and 6'11". He was one of them. So I was trying to get all of them to play on my team. I couldn't pull it off.
Who do you want to play for?
I don't know. I don't think he ever went to play on none of those
On
big
the
time
circuits.
teams. No, he didn't
How
play.
does he
Well,
get-
we didn't have circuits then.
I
There wasn't
know,
no
yeah,
circuits, but he didn't.
yeah.
He
There
didn't
actually
play.
was circuits.
Not
It
Nike
wasn't
yet, right?
No, you know what's really crazy? Nike's been doing this like stuff since like 2000. Like the
Well,
like
it
Peach
hasn't.
Jams. It hasn't been like the sessions, I don't think, but
Yeah.
they've been having like Peach Jams and stuff.
Yeah, it was probably set up a little different because we didn't have circuits growing up. We just played. Everybody played the best teams.
I said
Like,
2000.
yeah,
You were
I
in
know.
high school, like way before
Well,
2000.
2000, I was in college.
Exactly.
But
Because you're old.
anyway, man, let me tell my story.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, yeah. Anyway, I was recruited Christian Wood. I think he ended up going to UNLV.
He did.
Right. And don't even know how he got there. I mean, he played in all of the Pango stuff and the camps and things of that nature, but he didn't play on one of those big time AAU teams. That's why I was trying to sneak him over there. I was even willing to go drive out there to get him to play with me. But anyway, that's my Christian Wood story. So in the NBA, he's developed his skill set to be such a high level big as far as shooting the ball, handling things of that nature. So that was just a joke saying if he's a big or not. But he is a good complimentary big for LeBron and that team because he will spread the floor. And that's what LeBron wants. He wants shooters around him. So
Yeah, he shot, just real quick for reference, he was in his first season, he shot 37.6% from three.
Yeah.
Second season, he's damn near 39%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's averaging 37% on the three.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You see, that's great and all, but I'm really happy about it because I don't like seeing Anthony Davis at center.
But yeah.
I think when Anthony Davis is at center, it takes away his biggest
his attributes,
his biggest attribute in terms of him being 7 foot but fast enough to get around a four and being big enough for the four not to be able to do anything once he gets to the basket.
It creates a mismatch.
Right, but at the five, he's just kind of, I don't know. At the five, I feel like it forces him to shoot more jump shots too. He shoots a lot more jump shots at the five because he doesn't want to go down there with them.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with him playing the five is the physicality of guarding a five all the time.
That
Right?
too.
So when you're playing the five, it's not that he can't play the five. Obviously, he's talented.
Yeah,
enough. He
obviously
probably
he
can
can
play
play-
all
yeah,
five
He
positions.
can play wherever.
But when you got to go out there and guard one of them big dudes all damn day and battle and get rebounds and this and that, your jump shot feel a little different on the other end after you just wrestle
after
one
you
of
done
them.
boxed out, after you
right.
done walled up on Steven Adams, you come down
Exactly.
trying to shoot. I mean, that's
a little bit different. I know that for a fact. So yeah, I get your point though, son.
Yeah.
But so on offense, you're gonna put him in the box and leave Christian Wood at the top of the key doing high pick and rolls and pop screen.
I would want that, but unfortunately, I was on Twitter and I seen something about Christian Wood come off the bench and they letting Rory Hachimura start. And
So they're gonna keep him at the
and
five.
having Anthony at this five. But then I seen Anthony Davis was saying that he wants to be at the four more this year.
Well, he's been
He's
saying
always
that this whole
wanted it.
time.
Yeah.
He's been saying
And
that his whole career.
I'm surprised you say that because I still think he should. I want him at the five. I think
You want
that's
him at the five?
I think that's where he's best because you talked about like he does that takes a lot of jump shots at the five. I feel like then it goes up even more when he's playing, the four because he kind of gets it at the high post and he knocks it down, but he does love that turnaround fade.
I like it.
As a 7-footer. It goes in
like
sometimes,
But if you got a real five to go be down there and rebound, it
well,
looks a
like
little
for
different.
me, it's like, but if you have Christian Wood, I guess what does he look like as a real five? If Christian Wood can handle that load, and like you were saying, if you can use Anthony Davis' offensive attributes somewhere else, and he doesn't have to bang around,
Right.
It's going to be big on how well Christian Wood does.
And two, I wouldn't put it all on Wood because they're both kind of, to be honest, fours. But them playing together and working together, it'll take a load off of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I see what you're saying for sure. But I'm still stuck on the 2020 season when we had AD at the four and we had JaVale and Dwight down there.
JaVale's
and they got rid of both of them the next year for no reason. They still
JaVale's
had
the
time.
traveling ring guy. I mean, that's JaVale's career. He's a nice little 1-year deal.
He really is. But why? Why do certain people get into that with their contract? Speaking of that, my favorite person who this is just crazy that his contracts are what they are. Uncle Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Green. I knew you were gonna say that.
Uncle Jeff. Jeff Green, everywhere he goes, he produces at a high level. He helps to win. He get a championship. And yet he's on like these 1-year minimum vet deals, like everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't understand
I think he had one big deal, and that was like $14 million. Because I literally just looked this up. It was like a $14 million a year deal. And I think it was like right after the Thunder or something like that.
Do you think it got anything to do with his heart, or people
That-
worried about his
ooh,
long term?
That probably didn't help.
Yeah,
because the big deal he got was before the heart thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but he just produces all the time. I don't know. It's just crazy.
It is weird. I think with the bigs, it's also just like the bigs is always like a health thing, and in the NBA, is such a market where you're almost better off by avoiding the superstar bigs. Like, unless you have an Anthony Davis, like it makes sense that that's a max
but
guy.
Jeff Green's not a big though. He's a 3-4, a 4-3.
No, I'm talking more about like the JaVale McGee's.
Right. Yeah, I got you about JaVale.
Yeah, for the centers, because you just see that all the time. Like, even a guy like Joel Embiid, how great he is, we see it time and time again. It is very, very hard to win the NBA Finals if your center is the guy. Nikola Jokic has been an anomaly, but if you're looking at his game, like he's not just playing center. He's bringing the ball up the court. He's doing everything.
A whole different style of play.
Well, yeah, but guys, back to my Lakers.
Okay, back to the Lakers. I got Jeff Green stories too. Just
you got a Jeff Green story?
Yeah, I don't think you remember. You don't remember when you was young, huh?
Yeah, we went to the Thunder game.
Yeah, so
I met Russ Westbrook. I met KD, Westbrook, and Jeff Green after the game.
Yeah, but Jeff Green is a close family member, friend of ours.
Yeah, I know that.
Jeff's dad, Bo, is pretty close to us. When we went down to a visit in Georgetown, and we went, Jeff Green's dad came and hung out with us, and took us to eat and stuff of that nature. And then when Ramel was young, they would give us tickets. That's when the Thunder was playing against the Lakers.
It was
right?
actually
it was the playoffs, the championship
nice.
game. So Jeff's dad would give us tickets, and we got a chance to see all of that stuff up close. Tom Thomas was on that team too, which was my Syracuse buddy. So and then KD was young. KD mom's.
Is that the year they got to Game 7 with the Warriors?
No, Warriors.
The Lakers.
Yeah, this was a Lakers series. Yeah. How old were you then? You remember?
I was.
It was pretty young.
I might have been 7 years old.
Nah, he was older than that, I think. But you did get a chance to meet all those players back then.
How old am I right now? I'm 19.
Are you? Are you sure?
That was like 2010. So that was okay. I might have been 9.
Yeah, 9 or 10, somewhere around that area. But that was some cool times. I mean, we had seats like really close to the floor, and those, they took care. Actually, the one game we went to the team's hotel, and we rode the bus to the game with all of the parents. Remember that? Where KD's mom was on the bus with us.
I remember that actually.
Yeah, so you probably wasn't paying attention, but I thought it was a pretty big deal. I thought I did a really good Father's Day. I was
No.
For that, I was like, yeah, I'm doing my thing over here.
You did your thing because obviously I got to meet KD and all that. But
yeah, and Russell.
I was too young to realize.
I mean, you were young,
I was
but
on a bus with KD mom. I probably didn't care. But,
yeah, very, very nice lady, by the way. I mean, I remember we had some ticket issues, and I saw her in front of the Staples Center at the time, and I was trying to get some tickets to get somebody else in, and she remembered that we had new Bo, which is Jeff Green's dad, and she was like, "Everything okay?" And I was like, "Well, I'll take it." She was like, "Come over here." She was like, "Boom, boom, boom." She's handed us the tickets, like, "Here you go, honey." So anyway, that was my story. Get back to your Lakers, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that Christian Wood and AD for the championship.
We do got a few texts here. One says on the bus with the real MVP. Apparently you guys were sitting on the bus with the real MVP, future MVP, and Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously we have another one from Notorious B.I.B. It says, "How come you never have Strick on the show? Is his ego too big?" I'd love to get Strick.
Where's Strick?
Eric
here?
Strickland. Yeah.
Oh, I talk to Eric Strickland all the time on personal messages, and we hang out all the time. But I don't know, just because Strick has his own show and you guys hear him all the time.
Nah, I think his ego is definitely too big.
You think his ego is big?
I don't want Strick on my show.
Well, maybe it's our ego big. We trying to catch up to Strick, so we don't want to invite him on our show.
Yeah, he gonna take all our stuff.
Right. Yeah, right. I'll hang out with him. How about that?
No, that'd be cool though. Definitely, maybe down the road try to get Strick on.
Well, Strick's here every day. Yeah, I don't think he wants to come in on a Sunday and deal with us. After he's got to go do his show.
Or we go on Strick show.
We go on Strick show. I've been on Strick show.
He's got 2 shows now. He's got We Talk Facts with Cluster Johnson as well.
See?
So man, he's got a couple. He's double dipping.
Oh man, he's doing it big. Well, that's Mr. Nebraska though. So
so I've been told.
Is Mr. Nebraska.
He's got that history.
So, hey, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah,
we love you, Strick, though. Shout out, Big Strick, man.
Definitely.
Drinks on you next time we go.
Maybe we can get that lined up in the future. With that being said, though, we got to throw it to our last break. Again, Lloyds in Lincoln on Ticket Weekends. I'm Harrison. That's Ramel Lloyd Jr., senior across the table. We'll catch you guys on the other side.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire, 402-560-6197.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Creekat, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
I'm Chris Jackmick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackmick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Our sense of smell can tell us a lot. Fresh baked apple pie, good. Cigarette smoke, bad. But what happens when bad things smell good? When secondhand vape smells like strawberries, or mangoes, or cotton candy, and dangerous chemicals have a disguise. That's when people let their guard down around secondhand smoke, even though it's all full of harmful chemicals.
Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to Lloyds in Lincoln with your hosts, Ramel Lloyd Sr. and Ramel Lloyd Jr.
All right, we're back for the final segment of Lloyds in Lincoln on Ticket Weekends. Again, Starter Hammond text line 402-464-5685, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo channel 951. You guys have been great so far. And again, always feel free to join in on the show or go to ticketfm.com in case you missed any of the podcasts. But we got about 5 minutes left here. Where do you guys want to go with it?
Well, first of all, we love when people text in and get involved in the show. Makes it really, really fun for us, and keeps the show moving in a positive direction. I got some texts during the break from my mom, and I got a correction to make. So the bus going to the game that day, it was actually my mom on that bus, not Ramel. So he does remember some things, because his memory is like a 50-year-old man or 60-year-old man. So I thought for sure I was right, but actually my mom texted me. She said she was on the bus that day, and we went on to the game. But anyway, we still had a great time. I did take him to the game, so.
She must keep you guys together. You guys those memories failing.
He never had one. Mine is failing. It's different.
No. Me and him, we wouldn't without our woman.
No.
It'd be bad.
His sisters, his mom, and my mom.
My mother.
They're the real glue to the family.
You need that. You need one in the house.
They're the real MVPs.
Yes. But no, that was actually some fun times. Going to those games and being involved and seeing it. Especially that was a young KD then too. That was young.
Yeah, no one had any. I mean, people had hope.
Yeah, KD, Russ, Jeff, and James Harden.
James Harden off the bench
on that team as well. James Harden, Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, Serge Ibaka.
Yeah,
man.
Who? My guy, my brother, Etan Thomas.
Nick Collison
was on there. The lone where he was like the only kid that got drafted by the Supersonics. And him and KD.
Yeah, I was gonna say KD
on that time. They got drafted by Supersonics before they moved on to the Thunder.
Yeah,
before they moved on to Thunder. They were like the only two on that team, I think.
Do you think? Let me ask you this: if the NBA wants to expand, which they've been talking about doing forever, where does the cities,
Vegas,
or even across another country?
I don't like the country thing. Vegas and Seattle, I think.
Vegas and
those
Seattle.
Those are my places.
Another country.
There's been talks about Mexico having one of the Mexico team.
Mexico's not bad. It's at least it's on the same continent. I don't want to be going.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't be going over to Germany.
Yeah,
the travel would be nuts. But if you're looking like you got so many teams, like going down to Mexico would not be that much different from going to the east to west.
Or going to Vancouver or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. It's on the same continent. But wasn't a football NFL exploring going to overseas and playing games or having teams overseas?
It's more for exposure. I don't know if they're serious about actually like maybe some like
that don't make any sense.
That's impossible. There's no way they're going to spend that much money.
Yeah, no, like they have games out there.
They have games there.
Yeah, just to kind of like brand and market it so they can get some of the fans. But in terms of like having an actual team, I mean, it's soccer over there. They don't.
Yeah,
football is hard to get them into it. I mean, you think about. Were you guys able to go to that Northwestern game last year with Scott Frost? I know a lot of people went down to that. Is season opener in Ireland?
Did we go to Ireland?
Yeah, no. Okay,
we don't got it like that.
Because it's funny talking about like
if anybody want to sponsor a trip for us to do that, though, let us know. Lloyds in Lincoln, please
get up and go
check in.
But to bring that up because we're talking about marketing football, it was funny over there. Like the loudest that stadium got was when we kicked PATs or field goals. Like that was them. That's like the goal. They're like that's when they got excited.
Like goal.
Exactly. That's just what's happening. So it's kind of funny.
It was crowded though, right? It was packed. Though.
Yeah, I mean honestly, a lot of Nebraska fans helped fill it up, but a lot of foreign fans. I mean, they're into it. They were a little like kind of feeling it out what's going on. But they're definitely into it.
So you talking about going to Ireland? I can't even get tickets to get in the damn stadium here when they play local. So. Ireland was definitely off the or out of our radar. Sure, I got to sit home and watch it when I'm here. So whoever out there listening, I got some tickets. Shoot some tickets our way too. How about that?
Are you guys going to make it to any these next games? We got a Louisiana Tech, Northern Illinois at home.
We'd like to.
Like
this guy doesn't. He'll go probably like a quarter. So
what's this? The games?
Football games.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely going to go to the first game. Who we play? Northern Illinois.
Yeah,
we had LA Tech first.
Saturday, right? Isn't that this Saturday coming up?
Saturday game. Let me double check. I'm pretty positive it's Saturday.
Saturday, I think.
Yeah, if we don't have practice or anything, I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. He may get banged. May have practice.
Yo, you can't use the inside jokes on air. I keep telling you that because they don't know what we saying. They don't know what we saying.
Oh, they still won't know. It's okay.
Kevin uses that inside joke, man.
It's like it's a good time to go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, before we talk too much. Right?
This has been Lloyds in Lincoln. Ramel Lloyd Jr., Ramel Lloyd Sr. I'm Harrison pushing the ones and twos. Be sure to tune in next week. We got The Breeze with me and Haas up next. We'll see you guys in a little bit.